Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Munmin Parisharya, coming up in the next 30 minutes. On the second day of his visit, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi to meet Kuwaiti leadership to chalk out roadmap for a futuristic partnership. US President Joe Biden signs a funding bill into law averting government shutdown. Ukraine hits Russia with 9/11 style attack on high-rise buildings in Kazan. Massive fire erupts. United States carries out series of airstrikes against Houthis in Yemen. Attack comes hours after the Houthis fired a ballistic missile at Israel. India women face Bangladesh for the Under-19 Women's Asia Cup 2024 title at the Biomass Oval in Kuala Lumpur. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is on a visit to Kuwait, a first for any Indian premier in 43 years, will meet the Amir, the Crown Prince and the Prime Minister of Kuwait today. The meeting between the Prime Minister and Kuwaiti leadership would be an opportunity to chalk out a roadmap for a futuristic partnership for the benefit of the people and the region. PM Modi's visit aims at strengthening the India-Kuwait friendship across various sectors and deepening India's historical linkages with Kuwait, as the two nations have shared interest in peace, security and stability in West Asia. Earlier on Saturday, the Prime Minister addressed a massive gathering in diaspora at a special event named Hala Modi at the Sheikh Saad Al Abdullah Indoor Sports Complex in the city. Indian nationals representing a cross-section of the community in Kuwait attended the event. Prime Minister Modi was welcomed by the community with exceptional warmth and enthusiasm. Addressing the Indian diaspora event, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi said India and Kuwait share a relationship rooted in civilization and mutual affection.
भारत और कुवैत का रिश्ता सभ्यताओं का है, सागर का है, स्नेह का है, व्यापार कारोबार का है। भारत और कुवैत अरब सागर के दो किनारों पर बसे हैं। हमें सिर्फ डिप्लोमेसी ने ही नहीं कि दिलों ने आपस में जोड़ा है।
Prime Minister Modi highlighted that Kuwait helped India when it needed the most by providing liquid oxygen to the country. PM Modi added that India too supported Kuwait during the COVID-19 pandemic by sending vaccines.
जब भारत को सबसे ज्यादा जरूरत पड़ी तो कुवैत ने हिंदुस्तान को लिक्विड ऑक्सीजन की सप्लाई दी। हिज हाइनेस द क्राउन प्रिंस ने खुद आगे आकर सबको तेजी से काम करने के लिए प्रेरित किया। मुझे संतोष है कि भारत ने भी कुवैत को वैक्सीन भेजकर इस संकट से लड़ने का साहस दिया। भारत ने अपने पोर्ट्स खुले रखे ताकि कुवैत और इसके आसपास के क्षेत्रों में खाने पीने की चीजों का कोई अभाव ना हो।
Applauding the country's achievements, Prime Minister Modi said that India is the fifth largest economy in the world. It is home to the world's #1 fintech ecosystem and the third largest startup ecosystem globally.
आज भारत दुनिया की 5वीं सबसे बड़ी इकोनॉमी है। आज दुनिया का नंबर 1 फिनटेक इकोसिस्टम भारत में है। आज दुनिया का तीसरा सबसे बड़ा स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम भारत में है। आज भारत दुनिया का दूसरा सबसे बड़ा मोबाइल निर्माता देश है। मैं आपको एक आंकड़ा देता हूं और सुनकर आपको भी अच्छा लगेगा। बीते 10 साल में भारत ने जितना ऑप्टिकल फाइबर बिछाया है, भारत में जितना ऑप्टिकल फाइबर बिछाया है, उसकी लंबाई वो धरती और चंद्रमा की दूरी से भी 8 गुना अधिक है।
Prime Minister Modi also highlighted that countries around the world are opening their doors to India's skilled workforce.
भारत ने हाल के वर्षों में करीब 2 दर्जन देशों के साथ माइग्रेशन और रोजगार से जुड़े समझौते किए। इनमें गल्फ कंट्रीज के अलावा जापान, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, फ्रांस, जर्मनी, मॉरिशस, यूके और इटली जैसे देश शामिल हैं। दुनिया के देश भी भारत की स्किल्ड मैन पावर के लिए दरवाजे खोल रहे हैं। साथियों, विदेशों में जो भारतीय काम कर रहे हैं, उनके वेलफेयर और सुविधाओं के लिए भी अनेक देशों से समझौते किए जा रहे हैं।
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi emphasized the strong trade and cultural ties between India and Kuwait during his ongoing visit to the Gulf nation. Speaking to Kuwait's news agency Kuna on a Saturday, PM Modi highlighted the steady growth in bilateral trade and the deep-rooted relationship between the two countries, which he described as both dynamic and historic. PM Modi highlighted key areas of cooperation such as energy, trade diversification and innovation, while urging businesses and entrepreneurs from both countries to collaborate further. Prime Minister Modi also noted the significant contributions of the Indian expatriate community in Kuwait's development, emphasizing their role as a bridge between the two nations. India's Minister of Home Affairs Amit Shah on Saturday directed the Reserve Bank of India, the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development and the Northeastern Development Finance Corporation Limited to formulate separate guidelines for finance for the Northeastern region, saying that the region possesses a distinct topography. Addressing the Northeast Bankers Conclave 2024 at Agartala, Shah expressed confidence that the region will break all previous records in terms of attracting investment inflow.
क्या नॉर्थ ईस्ट के लिए फाइनेंस के लिए किसी भी प्रकार का फाइनेंस हो, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का हो, एग्रीकल्चर का हो, एमएसएमई का हो या पर्सनल लोन का, इसके लिए पैरामीटर्स आपने जो बनाए हैं, रिजर्व बैंक ने गाइडलाइन बनाई है, नाबार्ड ने जो गाइडलाइन बनाई है, वो पूरे देश की गाइडलाइन, वही गाइडलाइन नॉर्थ ईस्ट की होनी चाहिए क्या? कैसे कर सकते हैं? नॉर्थ ईस्ट की और पूरे देश की गाइडलाइन एक नहीं हो सकती। जरूरियात है नॉर्थ ईस्ट के लिए अलग पैरामीटर्स के साथ फाइनेंस की गाइडलाइन।
The Indian Weather Department has predicted cold wave conditions across several parts of north and central India with dense fog. The national capital, Delhi, was engulfed in dense fog on Sunday morning as the cold wave tightened its grip on the city, with minimum temperature dropping to 7 degrees Celsius. Ground frost conditions are also expected in parts of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, signalling harsher winter days ahead. The Weather Department also issued a yellow alert for several districts for the eastern coastal state of Odisha, forecasting light to heavy rainfall. The weather pattern is attributed to a low-pressure system over the Bay of Bengal, expected to intensify into a depression. Fishermen have been advised to avoid venturing into the sea due to rough conditions. ISKCON governing body commissioner Gauranga Das on Saturday voiced concern over the ongoing violence against Hindu minorities in Bangladesh. His remarks followed reports of a new incident involving vandalism of a Hindu temple in the country. ISKCON urged the Bangladesh government to ensure safety and take steps to protect Hindu temples.
राष्ट्रीय कृष्ण भावनामृत संघ इस्कॉन और बाकी जितने भी अल्पसंख्यक हैं बांग्लादेश के इस तनावग्रस्त परिस्थिति को लेकर बहुत चिंतित हैं और जितने भी हिंदू अल्पसंख्यक हैं उन लोगों की सुरक्षा के विषय में हम लोग बहुत अधिक चिंतित हैं। हम बांग्लादेश सरकार और सभी वहां पर अधिकारीगण, पुलिस इत्यादि से निवेदन करते हैं कि वहां के सभी नागरिकों को, विशेष रूप से अल्पसंख्यकों को पूर्ण रूप से सुरक्षा दी जाए।
The World Health Organization has praised India for making significant progress in reducing malaria cases and deaths, especially in states where malaria is more common. This achievement was highlighted in WHO's World Malaria Report 2024. According to the report, malaria cases in India dropped from 6.4 million in 2017 to around 2 million in 2023, a huge 69% reduction. Malaria-related deaths also fell significantly from 11,100 in 2017 to 3,500 in 2023, marking a 68% decrease. WHO acknowledged the vital role of India's community health workers, most of whom are women. These workers have been instrumental in bringing down malaria cases and deaths by reaching people in remote areas. The report also noted that India has officially exited the high burden to high impact group this year, thanks to the considerable progress in reducing malaria in its high risk states. On World Meditation Day, Prime Minister of Nepal KP Sharma Oli emphasized the transformative power of meditation for world peace and called for adopting yoga and meditation as a way of life for ensuring world peace in the world terrorized by war and unrest. Embassy of India in Kathmandu organized a meditation program in collaboration with Sri Chinmoy Center to mark the inaugural World Meditation Day. Enthusiasts came together to practice meditation, fostering mental well-being and promoting global harmony. On the occasion, spiritual leaders Swami Anand Arun, Santosh Kedia and LP Bhanu Sharma conducted the meditation exercises along with the participants. Still to come on this edition of DD India Live. 38 die in a major road mishap in Brazil. India to take on the West Indies in a 3-match women's ODI series starting today. Christmas celebrations are spreading holiday cheer across the globe. Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live with me, Munmun Bhattacharya. US President Joe Biden signed the government funding bill on Saturday, averting a Christmas-time government shutdown after successful negotiations between Republicans and Democrats in both houses of the US Congress. In a statement, Biden highlighted the bill includes disaster relief and avoids an accelerated pathway to a tax cut for billionaires. The Democratic-controlled Senate, in an 85-11 vote, passed the bill to continue government funding 38 minutes after it expired at midnight. The government did not invoke shutdown procedures in the interim. The package had earlier cleared the Republican-controlled House of Representatives with bipartisan support. The late-night vote capped a frenetic week that saw President-elect Donald Trump and his ally Elon Musk defeat an initial bipartisan deal, throwing Congress into disarray. If the funding bill had failed, non-essential government functions would have been put on ice. Employees in key services like law enforcement would have continued working, but would only have been paid once government functions were back up. Now, the latest in a string of more intense aerial assaults in the almost 3-year-long Russia-Ukraine conflict. Kiev launched a significant drone attack on the Russian city of Kazan on Saturday, 1,000 kilometers from the border. As per a foreign ministry, 2 drones hit a 37-story apartment complex. Alongside the drones that hit the apartment block, causing damage to a skyscraper, but no casualties, 3 were shot down and 3 were suppressed by air defense systems. Despite the rarity of intrusions inside Russian territory thus far, Ukrainian drones have previously targeted Kazan and the nearby oil-rich area of Doordarshan. Earlier, Russian Civil Aviation Authority Rosaviatsia temporarily closed Kazan International Airport, but later it reopened on Saturday amid the threat posed by Ukrainian drones. The United States military says it bombed missile storage facility and a command and control facility operated by Houthis in Yemen's Sana'a on Saturday. U.S. Central Command forces said that the attack aimed to suspend Houthi operations, such as attacks against U.S. naval warships and merchant vessels in the southern Red Sea, Bab al-Mandeb and the Gulf of Aden. Adding further, the forces also said it struck multiple Houthi drones and an anti-ship cruise missile over the Red Sea. The attack came hours after the Houthis fired a ballistic missile at Israel, which injured more than a dozen people in a Tel Aviv park. Syria's new rulers have appointed Muharraf Abu Qasra, a key leader in the uprising that ended Bashar al-Assad's rule, as defense minister, an official source said on Saturday. Abu Qasra is a senior leader in Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, or HTS, the Islamist group that spearheaded Assad's recent ousting. The announcement follows intense discussions by Syria's de facto leader Ahmad al-Shara on shaping the nation's military future. Prime Minister Mohammad al-Bashir vowed to rebuild the defense ministry with rebel factions and defectors as Syria begins a fragile 3-month transitional phase. Moving on now to updates from Germany, where authorities have identified a Saudi man with a history of anti-Islam rhetoric as the suspected driver in a car ramming attack at a Christmas market in Magdeburg, which killed 5 people. The suspect is a 50-year-old Saudi psychiatrist who has lived in Germany for almost 2 decades and was arrested at the scene, ending a bloody attack that injured hundreds in just 3 minutes. Authorities said the motive was not yet clear and that investigations into the suspect's social media posts were ongoing. He has been named in German media as Talib A. A 9-year-old child and 4 adults were killed in the attack and some 200 people were wounded, 41 of whom had either serious or critical injuries, meaning the death toll could increase. 7 Indians were also injured in the attack, while 3 of them have been discharged from hospital. Indian embassy is in touch with all the injured Indians. India has condemned the horrific and senseless attack. A tragic traffic accident was reported in Brazil on Sunday, where a bus with 45 passengers on board collided with a truck on the same day. The accident took place in the Brazilian state of Minas Gerais. According to the officials, 38 people have died, while the others who were injured remained in critical condition after being transported to a local hospital. However, the cause of the accident is yet to be known and a probe is underway. Initially, firefighters reported the bus had a tire blowout, causing the driver to lose control before colliding at around 4 a.m. local time with an incoming truck. A charity event turned into a bane for Nigerians on Saturday after two major stampedes due to excessive crowd led to the deaths of multiple people. In the state capital Abuja, at least 10 people died and many more were injured in a scramble to receive gifts of charity being distributed by the Holy Trinity Catholic Church, while in Anambra State, a crowd crush occurred after a member of the community offered gifts including rice, vegetable oil and money. The two accidents came days after another such stampede in Africa's most populous country. This is amidst a growing trend by local organizations, churches and individuals to organize charity events ahead of Christmas as the country struggles with the worst cost of living crisis in a generation. French President Emmanuel Macron arrived in Ethiopia, where Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed sought support for Ethiopia's ambition to access the Red Sea. At a joint press conference, Macron called Ethiopia's request legitimate and urged dialogue to foster regional peace. The issue has intensified tensions between Ethiopia and Somalia, which fractured earlier this year over Ethiopia's plan to build a port in Somaliland, a breakaway Somali region seeking international recognition since 1991. Ethiopia, a landlocked nation with troops in Somalia fighting insurgents, proposed recognizing Somaliland's independence in exchange for access to strategic coastal land. Somalia firmly opposes this, adding urgency to Macron's mediation efforts as the Red Sea remains a pivotal point of contention.
I encourage the continuation of dialogue to permanently calm the situation in the Horn of Africa while respecting the sovereignty of each party. But what the Prime Minister said about access to the Red Sea, the need for Ethiopia to diversify its access to have control of its destiny in a very difficult region environment is a legitimate request, and France wishes she can play a role and with a lot of humility help the diversification process through dialogue.
Régional ô combien difficile.
A massive bushfire continues to burn out of control in Australia's Victoria, prompting evacuations with no end to the fire in sight. The order to leave immediately, set at the highest danger rating, remained in place for the fire in and around Grampians National Park, about 149 miles west of the state capital, Melbourne. The country's fire authority issued a warning that the out-of-control bushfire will continue to burn for days. The blaze, sparked on Tuesday by lightning, prompted authorities on Saturday to urge residents of several rural towns such as Halls Gap, population 495, to evacuate. In women's cricket, India is facing Bangladesh in the final of the Under-19 Women's Asia Cup 2024 on Sunday at the Biomas Oval in Kuala Lumpur. Led by Nikki Prasad, the Indian team remained unbeaten in the tournament so far. After topping Group A, India also topped the points table in the Super Fours with 3 wins out of 4 matches. The women in blue defeated Sri Lanka by 4 wickets in the Super 4 match to reach the finals. Meanwhile, Bangladesh women beat Nepal by 9 wickets in the other Super 4 match. In cricket, Indian women are all set to face the West Indies for the first one-day match at the Kotambi Stadium in Vadodara on Sunday. The women in blue defeated the Windies side in the recently concluded T20 International Series 2-1 to register their first series win in the format at home since 2019. India is hoping that captain Harmanpreet Kaur will return to action after missing the last 2 T20 matches due to a knee niggle. On the other side, West Indies will be boosted as Deandra Doughton is set to feature in her first ODI in more than 2 years. In a big blow, all-rounder Stephanie Taylor is out of the complete tour. Hayley Matthews will continue to lead the West Indies team. Christmas festivities are in full swing across the globe with unique celebrations spreading holiday cheer. In Argentina, Santas have swapped their sleighs 4 motorbikes, visiting hospitals to bring smiles to patients. Meanwhile, in Brazil, Santa Claus took a break from his busy schedule to dive into the festive spirit, quite literally. At Rio de Janeiro's Aquarium, Santa's donned his signature red suit and a diving cylinder before plunging into a tank teeming with about 2,000 fish. That's spreading Christmas cheer in innovative ways. India's public broadcaster Prasar Bharati has recently launched Waves, entering the field of OTT platforms. Waves provides a complete infotainment ecosystem to digital media and OTT audiences. If you also want great content for free, then download Waves today. That's all in this edition of DD India Live, but do share your thoughts with us on the news of the day. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. This is Munmun Bhattacharya from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.